8 November Tango. Also November 8 November Tango with the Pennine Ham digital weekly net here on this reflector. A very good evening to everyone, a very good day wherever you are, and also to our viewers on YouTube. I hope you all are well. We have about 7 degrees here, overcasted. Next week we are going to 13, 40 degrees, plus 13, 40 degrees centigrade with some rain, but anyway, it's like spring next week. Okie-doke, please leave 3 to 4 seconds between the overs just to let the computers doing their thing. And let's start with the first one, which I think I spoke to him and he would not be available this week, but anyway, G0 TVB Paul, are you around from 08 November Tango? No, Paul is not around, but he promised me that he will be here next week. So we're looking forward to that, because he wants to transmit some pictures. Okie-doke. Anyone on GB7 Hotel X-Ray? Anyone on GB7 Hotel X-Ray who wants to join the net from 08 November Tango in the group? Nothing on the repeater, and thank you very much, Mike 5 Alpha Delta India, for the use of the reflector and for the use of the repeater. Okay, let's go to Germany. Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey and Delta Lima 8 DDP. Mike and Adriana, take it away.
This is Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. Very good evening to our listeners, to one and all, so to speak, and they're glad to be here again. Hope everyone is doing good and okay and well. We had this Zoom talk yesterday evening, and it was really excellent. I have to say that I enjoyed it very much. I really liked the simplicity of the talk and the interesting topics there. It was, you could say it was simple and ingenious. So it was a very good thing to take part in it yesterday evening. And of course it's, for someone who didn't see it, it's to be found on the YouTube channel of our club. Yeah, so WX here is similar to WX in Belgium, I think. The day over we had about 7 degrees centigrade. Now it's, I'd say, about 4 degrees centigrade plus. And here also the possibility that it will be very warm indeed in the next week. I can't approve of that. It's not winter time, HI. But let's wait and see what the meteor will bring us. So far from my side for this over, passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Very good evening to all of you. This is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango. Yes, yesterday's talk was excellent. We are fiddling around with fishing poles all the time, but there were several tricks and tips which make it easier to build poles up, I think. And so I can't wait, but weather will get warmer, but I have to wait a little bit to go outside and try something out with it. And yes, here radio-wise I have not much to report, but I think that what I can tell I will tell in the next over, so I have the microphone back to Oscar November 8, November Tango for the...
Okay, Delta Lima 1 BGW and Delta Lima 8 DDT. Okay, no, thank you very much for your entry, so to say. I agree totally. I really enjoyed the talk. Very interesting tips and tricks. And I found that his PowerPoint presentation was very well made, very clear, also from graphical point of view, very, very nice. And we also had a good discussion afterwards, I think, so that was really interesting. So I really enjoyed that, and I'm also waiting for the spring to do some quota or maybe some bunkers or so, because I have everything. But last year I was not able to do anything because of health issues with me and my wife and so on and so on. But anyway, very good talk. So let's go to Lou. Golf 8, Kilo Juliet, the group. Over 8 November Tango.
ON8NT.
ON8 November Tango, GAKJG. Yes, good evening, Jeff, and good evening to everyone else. It's a pleasure to be back on the net. The WX in Nottingham, it's been a dreary day. It's rained all day. The temperature at best was 7 degrees Celsius, and it's presently at 6 degrees Celsius. Not a very nice day, really. Typically November, of course. I've done very little radio in the last week. There have been so many things to do before Christmas. The outside lights are up and the inside decorations are done. I did watch the presentation by Steve, A84BW. There were a lot of ideas to take away from his presentation. The idea of him using fishing handles as a more robust mast, that was definitely new for me, and an interesting thought. Using a lighting tripod for portable operation is good if you take the car, and I use a lighting tripod, of course, for the satellite Moxon Yagi antenna, and it does the job. I do notice that Amazon have got lighting tripods for as little as £21, so they're not hugely expensive. You can pay a lot more at the Emporiums for antenna tripods. Anyway, that's me for this round, and so I'll pass it back to you, Jeff. I'll pass it back to you, Jeff. ON8 November Tango GAKJJ.
G8KJJ, the group of 8 November Tango. Thank you very much for this, and I'm sure you will have some more information on your satellite experiments in your next overs. And I must say, I have been playing with 3DV, Brady, still, I'm really fascinated by that. I'm really fascinated, amazed with what you can do with it. So I'm still playing with that, especially on 40 meters. And some very nice QSOs like 2 meter FM. It really sounds like 2 meter FM. It's really fantastic. Okay, over the weekend I participated in the CQ World by CW contest at a QRP station 5 watts, and I made 115 QSOs, but I still have to put my login. I think I should not forget that. Okay, all 4 India Whiskey Oscar, the group. ON8 November Tango, go ahead, Gigi.
Oscar November 8, November Tango from G4IWO. Yeah, thank you very much, Jeff, and good evening to everyone here this evening, and good evening to those who are listening to us on YouTube, which they include Jim at J4JBA, who's popped up to say he's monitoring the channel to enable us to listen. So good evening to all of you. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Steve's talk last night, and I dropped him a note this morning telling him not to worry about the difficulties he had with the Zoom stream to start with, and getting the PowerPoint to show. I don't think it detracted in the slightest from a really, really wonderful PowerPoint display. The photographs and the overlaid text on the pictures and graphics were extremely good, very high standard, and I thought it was very good, particularly for people new to the hobby. I've got no doubt of that. For people very new to parks on the air or going portable anywhere with their radio, I thought lots and lots of really good advice there. But actually, as with everything else on our talks that we have, I thought there were definitely some ideas that he brought about there, simple ideas that are worth thinking about. And in the discussion afterwards, even more ideas popping up, which was good. One of them, of course, came from a fellow radio amateur in Belgium, of yours, Jeff, ON7DQ. And I just wanted to mention to people, go and have a look at the club website if you haven't looked at it recently. I've updated it in quite a lot of detail, including today. So if you look at the, there's a drop-down box for Amateur Radio Club Home with club officers and interesting links. If you go to the interesting links, apart from various companies, I've added to it after last night Tony, G4WIF. I added as well ON7DQ. I added another site called Practical Antennas, and you can find the links to those on the on VK2 IDL as well. You can find the links to those in the interesting links page. And on the members blogs and reports drop down box, I've been gradually moving items across from Facebook. We've got a lovely big audience of people on Facebook, club members and lots of other radio amateurs. But I do know we've got members of the club, and not just the members of our club, but others whose only contact really is through the website. So I've been gradually duplicating some of the postings. So Lou has got 3 separate pages on there with the 10-meter delta loop, the 15-meter delta loop, and the junk box satellite antenna that you've been building there, Lou. So I've literally just taken your pages from there. So do go and have a look. I've obviously updated Ken's operations in Spain, and I've also added the update today for November from Jeff ON8NT. So do go and check that out if you've not done that recently. ON8NT, G4IWO.
Thank you very much, Nick, for that, and also for the quick update. I just sent you my notes from November, and I think 30 minutes later it was already published on the website. So that really, I think that's very interesting that that makes the website much more interesting for viewers and for people who are following us and so on. So that's a really, really great thing. And I'm sure ON7 Delta Quebec, I know him a little bit. I have met him in meetings and so on. He is a great guy. And I'm sure Bob has worked him. I might remember that Bob mailed me to say, or he has worked, or he has heard him or something. So maybe for Bob, that's not a strange person. Anyway, Bob, a very good afternoon. I hope everything is okay after your Thanksgiving Day. I hope everything went well. Maybe there are some new stuff there in the shack because of that. I don't know. So I'm curious about that. November 4, X-ray Alpha Tango Group. ON8 November Tango.
ON8NT, this is November 4, X-ray Alpha Tango. Good evening to everyone in the group. Good afternoon to anyone that's watching that is on this side of the pond. I haven't done a whole lot of radio in the last couple of weeks. As a matter of fact, next to none. I'm afraid that I'm going to lose my standing with quota. The last time that I looked, I was 3,074 entities, but for instance today I haven't been on the radio at all. I've just been at it other things to do, and my hands are really in bad shape. I found Steve's talk excellent. It was one of the better presentations. He knows how to put together a lesson plan. He made things simple to where anyone that was watching could understand what he was saying. His graphics were perfect. I couldn't ask for a better presentation than what Steve gave yesterday. This morning I did get off 2 cards to him. Of course, I worked on 14 times so far. Some people I've worked 400 times, but Steve I've worked 14 times. And of course that was with his, I think, 3 watts he said he was using. And of course I use about 10 watts. And the transmitter is 10 watts at any rate. And all of my contacts with him, except for one, were on 20 meters. And I do also have one on 40. So this morning I sent off an email to him, and then in the regular post I put in 2 QSL cards, one from one of the contacts on 40, and another one for the contacts on 20. But I thoroughly enjoyed yesterday's presentation. It's one that I will never forget. Today, right now, we're at our maximum temperature. It is about 4 degrees Celsius. It's partially sunny. I'm cold. I'm cold, sorry to say. But that's about it. Let's see, Glenn. No, but I agree with everyone in his comments so far. Just about everyone I think everyone that's been on has mentioned yesterday's presentation. And that's a first in itself. We usually hear people mention it, but not everyone. I believe that so far, everyone that's been on has mentioned it. So it had to be an outstanding presentation. Thank you. And with that, back to you, Jeff. N0, excuse me. ON8NP, November 4, X-ray Alpha Tango.
November 4, X-ray Alpha Tango. ON8 Alpha Tango. Yeah, thank you very much for that. And I agree, absolutely. It was a really enjoyable call there. And you had your Thanksgiving Day last week, and we have on the 6th of December, we have on this side of the town, we have Saint Nicolas. So on the 5th, the party starts already, because the children will get a lot of toys and so on. And this is something which is on our side of the town quite popular. I think also in Germany, I'm not sure about that, but anyway, here in Belgium, the Netherlands, and France and so on, it is quite popular. So a big day on the 6th of December, although not a holiday, well, it's a Saturday. It's a Saturday, so most people are at home, but anyway. Okay, Daphne, Golf 7, Echo November Alpha, the group, ON8 November Tango. Go ahead, Daphne.
ON8 NT and the group, G7A. Good evening, everybody. Hope I'm coming through all right. I've used the 705 with a dummy load on, so I don't overload the hotspot. It's been a wet, horrible day here, about 7 degrees now. So similar to everywhere else, I think. I enjoyed the talk last night. Very interesting and very good presentation. And it was worth the wait. It was interesting. Picked up a few little tips, which is good. And when I go portable, I tend to use fiberglass poles or ex-military poles. It's a good way of getting wire in the sky. At home, for experimenting, I picked up a few years ago on Facebook Marketplace. A very good guy was selling speaker stands, the type they use in discotheques and visuals to stand your speaker stack on. I think I picked them up for about £30, and they're really heavy duty, so even dragging them around in the car can be a bit of a problem, but they're great for supporting my magnetic loop and experiments. Not worried about them blowing over without being guided. So, I found it a good talk. Anyway, that's enough waffle from me, just in case I'm not getting through. So back to you, Jeff. O-N-H-N-T-G-7-E-N-E.
G7, Echo November Alpha, the group of 8 November Tango. You are 100% copied here on my side, at least, Daphne, so no problem at all. And very nice to meet you yesterday also. You were also there, and today it's very nice. So really enjoyed that. And yeah, those stands are really very heavy duty, but very useful, I think. If you can go to your boat-up place with your car, and you don't have to go to the hills or so, it's very, very useful thing. Yeah, let's go to the borders in Scotland. The boat Mike 4 Juliet Kilo Zoo, the group of 8 November Tango.
November Tango with the group GM4JKZ. Yes, good evening, Jeff, and one and all. Trust all is well, and particularly Andrea's almost on the complete mend, we hope now. And yes, the talk last night, I think I've just got two sort of phrases to back everybody else up. Professional, and the graphics were just excellent, I thought. As I said last night, perfect for newbies on the hobby. Temperature here, 3.5 degrees, and overcast today, but not too bad. Did a fair chunk of our Christmas shopping today, so I can sit back and relax now. And this afternoon, I last managed to work St Helena on FT8, admittedly, on 15 metres, but a lot of good VX stations on 15 this afternoon. So there we go. Just a quick update on our little Oxford Valley PMR system. It's been up and running now for a week on a motorcycle battery, a Baofeng 888, little 1 watt handheld, the Flowerpot 270 antenna, which used to be in the background when I'm on Zoom. It was stuck over there for a few weeks, and it's working a treat. And I can get into it quite easily from here, no problems at all, which is probably to the site just under 2 miles. But there is an outlying hill in the way, so it's just slightly tucked around the corner. But we can still get in from here, so that's no problems at all. Regards the supports, I think I mentioned it months ago. I managed to pick up a theodolite stand for £10 through our local Facebook group in Jedburgh here in the village, or in the town, shall I say. So I've got a pretty sturdy, height adjustable, really solid base for, I'm thinking of mounting the dish on it for Kilo 100, but enough of that at the moment. Got some other satellite news to follow next time round, Jeff. So back to you, 08 November Tango from GM4JKZ.
Okay, GM4JKZ, the group of 8 November Tango. Yeah, looking forward to that satellite news. It's very interesting, and okay, on your PMR network there, your local PMR network, that's also very interesting to know how that is developing. That's a brilliant idea, I think. And congratulations on working St. Helena on 50 meters. Great. That's really great. And also a good evening to Jim. I forgot it already over again, and said I have to say good evening to Jim. Well, good evening, Jim. Nice to have you there on the YouTube channel, and hopefully there are some more people there, also to the other people on the YouTube channel. So let's go for the second round and check if there is anyone who wants to join us on GB7 Hotel X-Ray. Anyone on GB7 Hotel X-Ray who wants to join the net from 08 November Tango in the group, go ahead. Nothing heard, but I'm sure that there are some listeners out on the repeater. I can imagine that. Okay, though, there probably some people will become a little bit shy, which is not needed. I mean, you don't have to be shy here to be in an active shy. Okay, though, Back to Germany, Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey and Delta Lima 8 PDT on an 8 November Tango. Go ahead, Michael Adriana.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. Yeah. First of all, Daphne, G7ENA, very glad to have you back on the net here. And it was a pleasure to see you yesterday on Zoom's meeting as well. To Jeff on 8 November Tango regarding the mentioning of St. Nicholas Day on 6th of December. Yes, in Germany it's also very popular. I think it was more popular in the past, in my youth, exceptionally. And today it's also very popular, but Christmas is a little bit bigger and more prominent, I think. I've heard that in the Netherlands, I'm not sure if this is still the case, but it was the habit that children got most of the gifts on St. Nicholas Day, not on Christmas Day. I'm not sure about that. Jeff can tell us about it, I'm sure. Radio-wise, there was this CW contest last week. I did a little bit work of the CW with our NFED half-wave and reached Japan, Centralina, and Western China. And then I switched over to the ground-mounted vertical antenna, the Rybakov we have in the garden there. I could work Argentina and Greenland with the Rybakov antenna. I was very surprised about that. But it seemed to be a very favorable time to try this. Later on, with the same setup and only 10 watts, I did a CW contact into Puerto Rico, Kilo Papa 4, Juliet Romeo Sierra. It's quite a popular station. I think most of us will have heard of the station or even worked it. That was also a nice surprise. Yeah. Then some time ago, I tuned over the 40-meter bands in the late afternoon, and I could hear our friend G4 vis-a-vis Ken talking to a station. And when the QSO ended, I called him, also with the Rybakov antenna, the ground-mounted vertical, and with 50 watts, it was quite difficult to get through. He could hear me, but only very badly, and I changed the output to 100 watts. Then it was, I think, 5 and 7, he said, but lots and lots of QAM. It was really difficult, and I could receive him relatively well, but also with a lot of QAM from the sides. Also people tuning on top of him. It's always the same, isn't it? And he was having 500 watts, and I had some difficulties in hearing him, nevertheless. So 7 megahertz is a good band, but sometimes it's hell. But not always. Okay, so far from my side, passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yes, Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango from Cook. Yes, last week I tried to take the part in the CW contest with the QMX, and this time, because of the battery I used, I had only an output of about 4 watts. And yes, first of all, it has been a little bit difficult with 4 watts in the contest, because anyone taking part there has much more power. But then it worked all over Europe, and astonishing for me, I had one contact to the US, to the East Coast, with forwards, and this was quite nice. And so I think I'll try TW Europe a little bit more during the next weeks. And another thing which makes which I took during the last days was the tiny assay, a little spectrum analyzer which I bought, and yes, I'm fiddling around with it using some YouTube videos to get used to all the functions, and then I'll try to make some measurements with the QPC kits which I just built. So that's all from my side. I hand the microphone back to Oscar November 8, November 10.
Okay, Roger, Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Weekend, Delta Lima 8 DDT. Okay, well, it's the same. It's the same like in the Netherlands. Children get more presents with St. Nicholas than with Christmas or New Year. Some families they do it on Christmas, and other families it's more New Year, which is the big day. But children get much more presents with St. Nicholas. So it's the same like in the Netherlands. We do things quite similar like the Dutch very often. That's very often the case. And congratulations there, Mike, on your results on CW, and you also, Adriana. I did work that those days. Maybe I'm using other times. I'm not operating early in the morning. It was noon when I started. But I was very happy to work in the late evening, nearly midnight, on 40 meters. I could work some American stations, some USA stations on 40 meters with my 5 watts. So I was really surprised that I could do that. So quite happy about that. And I worked then also on 40 meters, and in 10 minutes he was S9, and in 10 minutes I lost him. He was gone. So I think conditions can change so rapidly. It was just at the moment that dark was coming in, so sometimes the dark is coming in. That's how things are changing very quickly. Oh, a nice fiddling with the Dina SA, Adriana, very good. Oh, so let's go to Peru, Golf 8, Kilo Juliet, the group over there. Thank you.
ON8, November Tango, Golf 8 Kilo, Juliet returning. Yeah, fine business, Jeff, and I've looked at the Freeview DV website after you mentioned it last week, and I read all the information on the site. I've got so many projects on at the moment, but I'm definitely going to do something about it eventually. I do have some Raspberry Pis that could be used for and dedicated to that transmission process. So that's an interesting one. And congratulations on your QSOs on the contest at the weekend. Nick, thanks for putting the little articles on the Pennine Ham website. That's really good. I do have another one, and that's Junkbox rotator, which I mentioned last week. But I'm holding back on that at the moment. I thought I would upgrade it and then show the development from the rather rubbish one that I demonstrated last week to something a little bit better. On Tuesday, I did attempt to work a station through the ISS, but was unable to get in with 10 watts. I think some stations are using much higher power or higher gain antennas. Reception of the ISS was good, and I got full coverage of most of the satellite's power. So that was worth the effort. I also watched the presentation by Carl, the W8WZ, and that was very interesting and very informative. His comments about ground impedance chimed with my experience regarding my quarter wave inverted L for 40 meters. The quarter wave has equal vertical and horizontal sections and is elevated about 3 meters. It only has a ground spike, no radials. The soil is clay and heavy, which helps the conductivity. In use, the antenna works well and is omnidirectional as far as I can tell. I do have a choke balun in the feed point to stop the coax acting as a counterpoise and also to stop any common mode currents that might come back in the shack. Anyway, that's enough from me for this round, and pass it back to you, Jeff. ON8 November Tango, GAKJJ.
Roger Lou, G8KJJ, ON8 November Tango, yeah. Very interesting about your Junebox rotator. I really like that. It's fantastic, yeah. So I hope to see some more, maybe on our website there on the members blog. Okie doke. Yeah, 3DV, you definitely have to try it. I observed that a lot of stations are actually using less than 10 watts. I presume that is with 705. Yeah, and it's I guess that 3DV is about 10 degrees better than single sideband. I tried it with a station, which was a German station, by the way, which was armchair copy and 3DV, and we decided to go back to single sideband, and I had difficulties to get him, and he had difficulties to understand me. So we know we were there, but it was not a solid visual at all. It was a station about S1, S2, so not very strong. We changed back to 3DV, was armchair copy again, just like a 2-meter FM so brilliant. By the way, in the last Practical Wireless, there is an article about 3DV by Eric, Golf Whiskey 8, Juliet Lima Lima, I think. And then there is another article by Diamond, below him, Golf 4 Uniform Sierra India, on a home-built one-channel 3DV transceiver for the 60-meter band. Very interesting article also, so that's in the December issue of Practical Wireless. Oh, and shortly about, the ISS, there were no pictures, no slow scan pictures because of technical difficulties, but they try to send the pictures now with the Romeo Sierra 3H Sierra satellite, which is more difficult to get the pictures because that's only 300 milliwatts or so, I think, while the ISS is 10 watts, so that will be more difficult to do. Tomorrow I will give that a try. Back to it, all for India Whiskey Austin Group, ON8 November Tango.
ON8 November Tango from G4IWO. Yeah, thank you very much indeed, Jeff, and some good comments from people here. Just a couple of things. WX here is currently 4.5 degrees Celsius. I think we reached about 6.5 earlier in the day. The common feature of today, as of yesterday, and I know over the weekend, is rain and more rain. And of course, when you go outside, when it is cold-ish and it's raining, it feels even colder, doesn't it? So that's the feature of the weather here. Although, as you said, Mike, the temperature is forecast to rise next week. Again, still more rain, but on Tuesday we're forecast the heights of 13 degrees. So that's pretty unusual, I guess, for the beginning of December. On the YouTube channel, we've got a group of people now. So we've got Jim, G4JBA, who is listening. We've got Andy, 2E0REE, and we've got Terry, G7WRS. Are the people that have identified themselves on the chat, and I know that they all enjoyed the talk last night from the comments that were made, and Terry G7WRS was saying that he's very much looking forward to the talk which Paul, who is one of the UK POTA mapping representatives, is going to give to the club on January the 7th, the first meeting of the new year 2026. And Paul doesn't live very far away from me, very close, but Terry tells me on the chat tonight that he's worked in Park to Park several times, and Terry's also got him, which he's done, to add a local park to where Terry lives, so that he can go and work that as well. So that's very, very good news. And I cast my mind back on POTA to when we had the talk, and I've forgotten his call sign now, to the guy that used to be the chief executive or chief operating officer of the ARRL. He gave a lovely talk on POTA, and when he gave his talk, he was looking at the map to see how many POTA sites we had close to the area where some of us were living up here, and there weren't that many, and he was quite surprised. So just in a year or two, there's been an enormous increase in the number of POTA sites which are now available to UK operators, which makes it a lot more fun. And by the way, on that VK2 IDL site, you were mentioning the flower pot antenna. There's a very, very good and detailed measurements also for the balun for a 4 meter, 6 meter flower pot antenna. So on VK2 IDL site on our website now, there's a link to it there. You can read the build instructions, which are very simple and very clear. And I'm very much looking forward, Lou, to your write-up. I guess you'll put it on Facebook, and then I'll copy it across to the club website on your rotator. And I remember what you said the other day, your use of one of your grandson's Meccano. So Meccano still has a use for all of us, doesn't it? So back to you, Jeff. ON8NT G4IWO.
Thank you very much for all your comments. And good evening also to Andy and Terry and all the others on the YouTube channel. Very nice to have you there also as listeners and active participants giving some messages to me. That's great. And thank you also about the information on the VK2 IDL website. I really have to do that. Unfortunately, a day is only 24 hours. It should be 48 or more hours. Yeah, November 4, X-ray Alpha Tango group. ON8 November Tango. Go ahead, Bob.
ON8NT group, November 4, X-ray Alpha Tango. First of all, Jeff and others who are listening, my mother's grandparents came from Germany, and we still have both relatives in Germany. As I was growing up, St. Nicholas Day was a very important day, as you pointed out. That was the day when we got our gifts. I think that by the time my youngest sister was born, that had changed where we resided as we were growing up. I believe that she got all of her stuff on Christmas Day, but we always look forward, my brother and I always look forward to St. Nicholas Day, because that was a big day for gifts for us as I was growing up. And Daphne, I was a member of the now defunct Eagle Radio group, and within that group there were maybe 30 or 35 of us. But there was one couple, and the fellow, he ran a repeater in Maplethorpe, and I can't remember the call signs anymore, but they eventually lived to Australia. And I did have some contact with them after they moved, but then I lost that contact. I still do have contact with a couple of people in Maplethorpe, and I have a few interesting things. I'm sure that if you know anyone from that area, if you know Charles G0CBM, he and Terry are planning to put on a special event from Umber GKZ in 2027. That'll be their 100th anniversary. And as of today, there are still 5 living operators from there. They're hoping that they'll be around in 2027 where they can also be involved with a special event. And that may interest you, Daphne. And otherwise, someone mentioned the tripod. Well, I get points on my credit card, and I had enough points where I could pick up a tripod that would hold a camera. And I picked that up, and of course I bought that Wolf River trap a year or so ago, and I made a mount for that tripod where I could put the Wolf River trap on that, and then put my 17 vertical on top of that. I haven't used it recently, and I don't think I'll be going out. It's just a little too cold outside for me right now. Probably when it warms up again, I'll take it outside and experiment with it a little bit more. But one of the problems with that, as I believe Nick pointed out, the tripod was a bit too heavy if you were going out on boat operation by foot. It was just a little, it would make it too heavy to carry, but it was nice here in my backyard. I don't have too much more radio to tell you right now. I will have a picture later though, so back to you. ON8NT November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango.
November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango. ON8 November Tango. Thank you very much both for your comments, and interesting to hear that that your ancestors bring their traditions to the new world, so to say. You know, San Nicolas and things like that. This is something which is brought into the States by all the migrants who went to the new world. That's fascinating, and I hope that still survives a little bit. I think that's a good tradition. Okay, no, and I noted, Bob, that you will have a picture, and I will go to Daphne G7 DNA, and maybe you will have also a picture, Daphne. I don't know, but anyway, you can enjoy to receive them with your 705. G7 DNA, ON8 November Tango in the group.
Yeah, ON8 November Tango in the group, G7 DNA returning. Well, I must apologise, I missed some of that time round. My husband's in hospital, and one of his friends ran to see how he was, so I had to take my phone call really. But so I was listening with the phone one ear and the radio the other ear, and yeah, it can get a bit tricky. Bob. I know Charles. I haven't spoken to him or heard him for a while. He don't get on 2 meters very much. He calls him now and again, and as far as I know, he's well. And yes, I've heard about the special event for 2027. The last one's in 2017. That was supposed to be the 90th anniversary. Yeah, it's a shame the site's just derelict now. The buildings are still there, but they're derelict. And the land where the aerials were, they have a circus on it now. Very sad. The Eagle really folded, I think, with COVID. It sort of died a death. But they still have a little net on a Wednesday night on 2 meters. 4 or 5 get on and just have a chat for an hour or two. So it's still going in spirit, even though they don't physically meet up anymore. It probably just takes someone with a bit of, get up and go to get it going again. But it's hard to start a radio club. It's a lot of work. I know I've been there. I'll stay on, send a photo of 705 for that reason. I didn't test one, and it seemed to work. It went to me 9700 all that. So we'll see what happens. So with that, I'll hand it back to you, Jeff. G7DNA.
Roger, Daphne G7 DNA. our late November Tango, and sorry to hear about your husband. I wish you and your husband the best, and for the future, and hope that will solve very quickly, I think. And I've noted that you have a photo, and you are very welcome to send one. That's brilliant. Let's give the microphone to the bowlers of Scotland, the Golf Line 4 Juliet Kilo Zulu group, our late November Tango.
Late November Tango with the group GM4JKZ. Yeah, fine there, Jeff. Many thanks. And my thoughts also definitely hoping things improve in the family in the not too distant future. Junk box for a Zeta, like the sound of that, Lou. And yeah, Meccano, I wish I'd kept all my Meccano. It would have been very easy to build many things. I used to build tower cranes with mine, so it was great fun when I was a kid. And Jeff, okay on the ISS. Yeah, I did note that they're transmitting down on robot 36, isn't it? But no joy here, unfortunately. So I've not bothered to look at that any further. The only subtle stuff I've been working with, I treated myself to a Liligo Laura development board for a tiny tiny ground station. And apart from you need to get yourself a Telegram account to obtain the password and the username to use it. I bought the 433 meg board. I'm really delighted, I must admit. I only had it on yesterday afternoon. Haven't had it on today because the ID5100 is on the collinear out there. But I'm using the collinear outside. Yesterday, I copied 15 satellites, 67 packets, 42 telemetry packets, and the recorded distance on the Tiny GS website shows the best distance was 2,463 kilometres. And the maps that they provide on the Tiny GS is the console for your station. It shows the world in 3D with all the positions and halves of the satellites in one. And then the second map, it shows where the satellites are at the moment whilst they're being decoded. So great fun. It was only £18 for the board, and now I've got to get on and build the 70 cents flower pot or equivalent to put outside. So it's good fun. Anybody wants to have a go. And yeah, I've got a spare Raspberry Pi which I shall dedicate to this, so it stays on all the time. And I can plug them both into 5 volts. I've got one of these mains twin outlet sockets with 2 5-volt sockets in between, so it can be plugged in, left on, and away it goes. I think they're grand. Great fun. And yes, Jeff, I've got a picture to follow, so back to you. 08 November Tango with the group, GM4JKZ.
Yeah, Roger, GM4JKZ, the group 08 November Tango, and fascinating, those Liligo boards on TGS. Very interesting. I haven't done that until now, but I'm playing with that. That's also one of the things which is on my to-do list. So that's really fascinating. I have one of my good friends here very near to me who is also into that, and I looked into his dashboard and so on, and it's really fascinating. Okay, though. Yeah, the slow scan TV pictures on the RS38 Sierra, they started actually only today. They really started today. They were planning to do that from Monday or so, but the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, nothing, and they seem to be starting today. There are some reports that there are some slow scan TV pictures transmitted already, and they would do that for 5 or 7 days, depending on I don't know what depending. But anyway, but it's more difficult. But I will give it a try. Okay, Righty-do, very good. I will go to the next last song. I think anyone on GB7 Hotel X-Ray who wants to say hello to the group ONA November Tango listening. Nothing heard from GB7 Hotel X-Ray. Let's go to Germany. Delta Lima 1 PJW, Delta Lima 8 DDT. Go ahead, Mike and Adriana.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey was the final. Yes, thank you very much for hosting the net, Jeff, doing an excellent job. And thank you to all the participants for this interesting meeting again. It was a pleasure again to be part of it, and looking forward to future meetings as well. So, hope everyone is well or will improve. And all the best wishes from my side, now especially to Daphne and her husband, of course, but also to all others. Looking forward to meeting you next week on Digital Net, and in 2 weeks' time on the Zoom meeting, I think. Then will be Christmas already again. Time flies. I'm always astonished about that. So thank you again. 73 from Northern Germany, and passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group in the final. Is one thing I wanted to mention is a few days ago we have seen a YouTube video from Walt, the Kilo for Oscar Golf Oscar, Salty Walt. And this was quite interesting. He had built a delta loop which should be adjustable. And he has used the coil from the GBC 12 antenna, the adjustable coil, and had fitted into the delta loop. And with this coil, he could use it on several bands and didn't need to make the sides of the delta loop longer or shorter. I don't know if it will work if one tries it out here in the garden also, but it looked quite interesting. I think one can find this video on his channel very easily. It must have been one of the last videos that he made during the last days. Coastal Waves. The channel is Coastal Waves, Kilo for Oscar Golf Oscar, but I think you all know him. Yes, all the best to all of you. Have a nice weekend there, and especially all the best to Daphne and her husband, and I hope that everything will turn out good and well soon. And yes, Bob, all the best wishes to you. I hope that the problems with your hands will get better, and that you can more easier take part in the CW business. So bye-bye from Northern Germany, 7388. This was Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango, handing the microphone back to Oscar, November 8 November Tango for the group.
Okay, Delta Lima 1 BJW and Delta Lima 8 DDT. Thank you very much for your contributions, Mike and Adriana. A very interesting tip there about Salty Walt. I really like his video channel, his YouTube video channel. I have his book, which is brilliant material. I really like his book. Lots of good ideas in there. Okie doke, yeah. Let's go to Lou, and I think Lou, you will also have a picture, so I give the microphone to Lou we will go around. We will finish the round and then we send the pictures separately. So I give the microphone to Golf 8 Kilo Juliet Juliet Bravo and 8 November Tango.
My 8 November Tango, GAKJJ. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Nick, while I was listening, I looked at the website and it's excellent. I don't know how you find the time to do all the work that you do, and very impressive, Nick. Keith, I do have a Meccano. I've got so much junk. I did keep some, and as you say, it is useful. If you want to mock something up or you want to make something quickly, a Meccano still has got a lot of use. And okay about your ground station project, that sounds really interesting. Adriana, I was interested in the YouTube video that you mentioned. I think Salty Vault, and I'll have a look at that. It sounds an interesting project, an adjustable delta loop. Anyway, thanks to Jeff for hosting the net. It's been excellent this week, as it always is. It's been a real joy and a very, very good way to spend the evening. And I do have a photo, and I'm not bragging, but the photo is a Christmas scene. So it's not that I'm trying to make a point about being the earliest to put up the decorations, but I thought it would be an interesting thing to transmit to see if the system copes with it. So my photo is a Christmas scene. So back to you, Jeff, and thanks very much for hosting the net. ON8 November Tango, GAKJJ.
G8AJJ, ON8 November Tango. Thank you very much for that too, and we look forward to your photo there and see if the system can handle that. Okay, Nick, go for India Whiskey Oscar, the group ON8 November Tango. Go ahead, Nick.
Yes, ON8NT and the group from G4IWO. Yeah, thank you very much, Jeff, and again, some great contributions. And Daphne, I'm very sorry to hear your husband's in hospital, but I hope he gets well soon and you can have him back home again. That's always a difficult time. And talking of difficult times, I touched base with Jeff, M0AUG, this morning because last night we had an earthquake in England that the epicenter was about 30 miles away from where Jeff lived, and there's certainly no injuries resulting from this, and people were woken in the night with shaking buildings, those that were very close to it. Jeff reported back to me that the first he knew about it was watching the news on the BBC in the morning, so he wasn't aware of it at all, just 30 miles away. It was a relatively low earthquake, I think 3.3 on the Richter scale. We do get several hundred of them a year across Great Britain, but none of them are particularly strong because of the nature of the earth underneath our part of the planet. But I just thought I'd mention that, and Jeff was grateful for me checking in. To Mike and Adriana, my uncle's wife came from Germany, Anna, and as a young boy, I was very, very jealous of my cousins who used to celebrate Nikolaustag and used to get some presents put in their shoes, if I remember rightly, on that day. And me and my sister at that time were very, very jealous of my cousins who got this additional few presents prior to Christmas Day. So it's a funny childhood memory for me there whenever St. Nicholas Day is mentioned. So thanks everyone for a really interesting meeting tonight, and also to Adriana for that reference to K4OGO's YouTube channel with the video he's done on a delta loop with a coil in it. That sounds rather interesting. I'm going to have to go and have a look at that. And I know the thing I'm very interested to have a play with next year is the excuse me, is making a version of the vertical 2-element vertical Moxon beam, because I think that could be quite a bit of fun for maybe not portable operation when you're walking up in the hills, because I'd need to take two 10-meter poles with me, and that's just really too heavy to carry with everything else. But and to fix, and the guying you'd need for it. But we're hoping we're going to have and organise some portable days next year. Try and make them club events so that people in other countries can take part, and try and work some of us that are going to be in the same location, but everyone else can take part from home or portable if they wish to. Ken and I have been having a chat about that, and we need to get a club officers meeting with Jeff and Rachel, and dot the I's and cross the T's, as we say here, to get that sorted for next year. So thank you everyone for a really, really enjoyable net tonight. Some lovely material there, and I'm very, very pleased that people did enjoy the talk last night from Steve at AA4BW. And by the way, Steve was saying to me before he gave the talk last night that he and his wife are hoping to come over again to the UK next year, and was wondering what rallies we were going to be at. And I told him that we are booking up to go to the Blackpool Northern Amateur Radio Society's rally again in April, and we're also going to book a day at the National Hamfest in September. And he was asking where the National Hamfest was, Daphne, and I said it's at the Lincoln Showground, obviously not far from you. So anyway, he was going to talk to his wife, and there's a possibility we might have a chance of meeting up with Steve again, which would be really pleasant. So 73s everyone, I'll stay online and get some capture on the radio here, some of the photographs, which will also be on the YouTube channel. 73s everyone, and see you in a couple of weeks' time at the last club meeting, which is going to be just an open chat. What I may do on that day is organise to go on 40 metres a bit earlier, because I don't think there's any point of going on 40 on single sideband in the evening. It would we won't work anybody really across here. I think if we're going to do that, we need to do that earlier in the day. So 73s everyone, and see you all in a couple of weeks. ON8NT in the group, G4IWO.
G4IWO, ON8, yeah, okay, thank you very much, Nick, and like you say, thank you very much for all the work you do on the website and on organising the Zoom meetings and things like that. Brilliant, very good. And interesting to learn about the earthquake in the UK. I didn't heard anything here on the news or so, but and not even just in the UK there didn't feel anything, so to say. It was only in the morning news that he was informed about that. Okay, and about the shoes, yeah, on the 5th of December, children put the shoes near the chimney with some carrots and with a beer and some sugar for the horse, because St. Nicholas is coming on the roofs of the houses on his horse to bring the toys to the children. So, and in the morning they will find that the beer is empty. The bottle of beer is empty, the carrots are gone, and the sugar are gone, and so on and so on. And in play there is a lot of toys to enjoy the day each time. Okay, let's go to book November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango group over 8 November Tango.
In the group, November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango. Originally, I planned to start sending my Christmas photos or Christmas pictures starting today, but I was going through some stuff that I had received from some relatives in Germany, and in one of the groups there was a drawing that I liked, so I decided that I would send that this week, and then next week store with Christmas trees in various town squares in Germany. So stand by, and I'll send this drawing. This was sent to me from relatives in Georgetown, which is near Hortheim in Germany. Stand by, and I'll send the picture.
That's a 100% copy, but perfect. I don't know. Lou, did you receive that picture in a good way, Lou? G8KJJ, the group of an 8 November Tango?
Yeah, it was a perfect picture, Bob. Perfect picture, and very nice indeed. So, back to you, Jeff.
Okay, Roger. And did you receive that picture?
Yeah, 100%, Jeff, and lovely colours, I must admit. Back to you.
Yeah, okay, very good. And I go to Daphne. Daphne, did you receive that picture? And you can send your picture if you want, and have your final words each side. G7 ENA or an 8 November Tango in the group.
Yeah, Jeff, it came through lovely, 100%. No pixel loss. Yeah, nice picture. Yeah, very nice. I'll try sending one back. So just bear with me. Yeah, just a minute.
Okay, thank you, Daphne, for that. That's the radio room of Humber Radio. Yeah, I know that Humber Radio. GB0GKZ, very good. I do have some blocks missing, maybe 6 or 8 or something. Lou, did you got that picture at the good order there, Lou? G8KJJ, the group of an 8 November Tango.
Yeah, I got the picture. I've got a few blocks missing. Maybe if Daphne could send it again, it will clear up. I do recognise the picture. Having lived in Grimsby, and I did go to the Humber radio station, Humber Radio, and yeah, great.
Okay, Daphne, could you send it again?
ON8NT.
Yeah, I'll try it again. I'll just turn the power up a little bit in case it was a hot spot.
100% copy now, Daphne. And on your first transmission, it was 97% copy. So, how did you receive that picture?
Thank you, Daphne. I like that picture. On the first time I did, I would have also asked for a repeat. I only had 85%. I now have 95%, and I'm only missing a few blocks on the left toward the top above that first operator. So otherwise, the picture is fine. Got the call sign, and the bottom of the picture is perfect. So thank you very much. I like that photo.
G8KJJ, how did you receive that picture?
Yeah, 100%, Jeff and Daphne. Perfect picture. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to Scotland. GM4JKZ, how did you receive that? And then you can have your final words and your picture. GM4JKZ, the group over 8 November Tango.
November Tango with the group GM4JKZ. Yes, I just one block missing. That was all just above the white emblem on the left-hand side, but I now need to think about redesigning my workstation here. HI. And yes, the picture tonight is of I think I mentioned at 5 or 6 weeks ago that we had the fire brigade up here, very rare, not seen them before, with 2 boats because there was a guy who was a carpenter. He decided to drive through what he thought Schwartz, where the river further up was flooding. Must have been, by the looks of it, 200 yards into the water area. So this picture is of his rescue, and if you look carefully, right in the middle of the picture, you'll see a little white. That's his flash. So, excellent. I'll send it over to you and everyone. And thanks for running that tonight, Jeff. Very, very good. Very professional. Excellent.
Please, 100%. Daphne, how did you receive that picture? G70NA, the group over 8 November Tango.
Yeah, there's a few lines missing. About halfway down, the line's missing, and then a little bit lower down. The majority of it got through. I can see what it's all about. G70NA.
Okay, thank you. And Bob, how did you receive that picture? November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango, the group over 8 November Tango.
I have very, very good copy. I missed the percentage, but I'm only missing 4 blocks, and they're all in that green grass section in different areas on there, so nothing serious on this end.
Okay, maybe, Keith, would you send it again?
Yeah, Roger, just on his way.
Okay, though. Daphne, how did you copy that one? Did you get it complete now? G7ENA, the group coordinator November Tango?
Yeah, a lot better. There was about 6 blocks in the middle missing, but everything else is fine.
Okay, thank you, Daphne, for that. And Bob, how did you receive that one?
100%. I now have 100% perfect picture.
Okay, though. And let's go to Lou. How did you receive that picture, Lou? And then you can have your final words and your picture of 8 Juliet, the group coordinator November Tango.
Yeah, ON8, November Tango and the group GAKJJ. Yeah, the picture's fine. And it's difficult to see that little square block in a car or a van, but yeah, it's a perfect picture, Keith. Very nice indeed. And thanks once again, Jeff, for hosting the net. It's been a real pleasure. And I'll send my picture. As I say, I do apologise for this, because a lot of people think this is far too early. But anyway, I thought I would do that since I haven't got another picture, so I took it whilst I was putting up the decorations. So this is the picture.
Lou, 100%. Let's see, Daphne, how did you got that picture?
Not so good, this one. About 25% loss, I would think. Great big areas with no pixels in. I can tell it's a Christmas tree, but yeah, quite a lot of packet loss on that one for me. Back to you.
Okay, maybe let's go to Bob, November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango. How did you copy that?
I agree with Daphne. I have 80%. 80%. The first half I have quite a few missing blocks, and the second half I have several missing blocks. So I only got 80%. Back to you.
Okay, I'm curious now. Keith, it's M4JJZ. How did you call that?
Very similar to Daphne's, about 25 to 10 months. Blocks at the top and a big middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, one missing. Go ahead.
Okay, I have 100% straight. Okay, Lou, would you send it again?
Yeah, that's Roger. I'm sending now.
Okay, thank you very much, Lou. Daphne, did that improve the situation, Go 7DNA?
Yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, there's a few blocks missing, but it's a heck of a lot better than last time. Yeah, there's also though missing near the bottom, and the rest is just the odd block, so yeah, much improved, the G7A&A.
Okay, thank you, Daphne. And both November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango, how did they prove in your situation?
It's much improved. I only have 93%. Around five areas down, of course, the top of the tree, not at the very top, just below the top of the tree, I'm missing a whole line. But other than that, I have 93%.
Yeah, okay, thank you Bob, for that. And you, how did you receive that?
Well, GM4 JKZ, yeah, much better. Second line up from the bottom, I've lost the second half of that line, and just a couple of random ones further up, but nice Christmas tree there, though.
And I think so that's maybe the reason it's too beautiful. It's a lot of detail in the picture, and that might cause a problem, although I'm not sure about that. Just leave it now. Lou, would you be ready to send it again?
Yeah, that's no problem.